Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to discuss about bryophytes. You know that bryophytes is the lower form of the plants after algae and fungi. So the name bryophytes means moss plant. It was derived from Greek word called pyron, meaning the moss. Python means plant. So that is what it is called as bryophytes. The term first was introduced by Robert Brown in 1864, which includes algae, fungi, lichen, mosses. But in recent years, it has some advancement over the algae and fungi lichens. They denoted as a separate group called liverworts, hornworts, and mosses, which is altogether called as bryophytes. For the example, liverworts is Rixia and hornworts Anthoceras and mosses Polytrichum and Funaria. Okay, the branch of botany that is bryophyte deals with bryophytes plant is known as bryology. The bryophytes are also called who worked on bryology, bryophyte plant were called as bryologists. In India, Professor Sivaram Kashyap has made a thorough study on Himalayan bryophytes because he has done enormous work on bryophyte, so we call it as father of Indian bryology. Professor Sivaram Kashyap is a Indian bryology, father of Indian bryology. Okay, the bryophytes are primitive land plant. You see, primitive land plant. So far we have studied algae, which is aquatic plant, and fungi, it is present everywhere in the land. So this is the real primitive land plant which love damp and shady places. Okay, the bryophytes also known as amphibians. That means what? It can live in water and land like frog. So that is what it is called as amphibians. So they occupy intermediate position between algae and bryophytes. So the bryophytes occupy in between algae and advanced plant pteridophyte. So the bryophytes are cosmopolitan in distribution. They are found in all places except sea. So that is the one of the major thing. Okay, so most of the plants are present in the land. Some species, that is Rixia flatulens, which is inhabitant of water. So some of bryophytes are epiphytes. Example, Dendroceras. It is found in tropical rainforest, and some species of epiphyllus. That means what? Some bryophytes grow on surface of leaves. Example, Radiolella protensa. Some species are found at high altitude. Okay, most of the bryophytes are found in Himalayan region. As we discussed that Professor Sivaram Kashyap has made a very enormous study the bryophyte present in the Himalayan region. So likewise, the high altitude ranging from 18,000 to 20,000 feet in Himalaya, the plant is called as Angostromia julacea. Okay, so you see that the diversity of the bryophyte, it can found in somewhat land and up to elevation of 20,000 feet. Okay, so this is the diversity of the bryophyte, and there are about 960 genera in bryophyte. There are about 960 genera and 24,000 species. Let us discuss about general character of bryophyte. So bryophytes are primitive land plants. They occupy in between algae and pteridophyte, and it found in humid and shady places. As water is indispensable for act of fertilization, that means what? Movement of gametes, movement of male gamete to the female gamete. So water is essential for the fertilization, and they are also said to be amphibians of the plant kingdom. Okay, so the plant is very much love in humid and shady places. Okay, the gametophyte is independent, highly developed and dominant in life cycle. So whenever you see the bryophyte plant, it is mostly gametophytic stage, and it is independent from the uh, sporophyte. So the normally plant consists of dorsiventral thallus. So dorsal side and ventral side. Example Rixia, Markansia, and some of the plant is erect. It can grow upright. Example Funaria and Polytrichum. Okay. So plants show alteration of generation. The bryophyte shows very good alteration of generation. That means what? Gametophytic stage, haploid stage, sporophytic stage, diploid stage. Likewise, the life cycle is changed, gametophyte over the sporophyte and sporophyte over the gametophyte. So gametophytic generation concerned with sexual reproduction, and sporophytic generation concerned with asexual reproduction. But the sporophyte of this plant is parasite on the gametophyte. Okay, so gametophyte is independent, whereas sporophyte is dependent on the gametophyte. That is what it is called as sporophyte is parasite on the gametophyte. The true root are always absent. Okay, even though it is a land plant, there is no real root system. So only instead of root, the unicellular or multicellular hair-like rhizoids develop from the thallus. That means develop from the plant. Okay, rhizoids is not a root but a root-like structure which may be unicellular or multicellular. Okay, these rhizoids absorb the nutrients from the moist soil. And the next point is they lack typical vascular tissue. Okay, though it is a land plant, it is not a pakka well developed land plant because it doesn't have vascular system, that is xylem and phloem. So xylem phloem is responsible for the erectness of the plant, so upright development of the plant, but it is also developed upright, but it doesn't contain exact xylem and phloem. Okay, the internally the plant body is differentiated into green color photosynthetic cell and a colorless storage cell. So when you see the bryophyte plant, you can see photosynthetic cell and a colorless storage cell. Okay, the vegetative reproduction is more efficient than the sexual method. That means what? Vegetative reproduction by means of fragment, tuber and gamete formation, and sexual reproduction is oogamous type. That means what? Oogamous means it takes place with the help of gametes, male gamete and female gamete. That is, a male gamete fuses with the female gamete, fertilization takes place, zygote will form. Okay, and the male sex organ is called as antheridium. It is a club shape surrounded by a single layered jacket cell and encloses anthrozoid mother cell, anthrocyte, and each anthrocyte metamorphoses into motile biflagellate anthrozoids. Okay, and female sex organ is called as archegonium. It is a flask shaped consisting swollen venter narrow, and the venter egg, ventral canal cell, and likewise everything is present. And the water is essential for fertilization, and from that it is developed as a zygote sporogonium sporophyte consisting of foot, seed of capsule, and capsule developed spore mother cell and